Most people on Instagram are chasing this, and while this is important, it's not a key indicator on whether your video will go viral or not. If you go on your Instagram page, go to one of your reels and click on View Insights. It's going to show you your plays, likes, comments, shares, and bookmarks. But a lot of people don't look at is watch time. Watch time is very, very important, but even this isn't going to be the only thing that's going to dictate how far a video goes. In order to understand this properly, you need to get into the psychology of the viewer. For example, when you're using Instagram, what are you thinking when you do each one of these things? If you're saving something, it's likely because your thought is, this is something I'd like to come back to later, something I want to remember. Whenever you're using this, your thought is usually, oh, they got to see this. I gotta send this to my friend or my mom or my sister. I want them to see this. This is, oh, I enjoyed this content. This was cool. I would like to see more of this. I may not follow yet, but I'm open to seeing more of this. This is, I have something to say about what I just saw, whether it be positive or negative. I have thoughts on this that I really would like to share. Watch time can mean many things. Sometimes it's not even a thought. It's just, oh, this video caught my attention and it distracted me long enough, if that's what the content was. Or it could be, I need to see what happens. So if someone's watching to the end of a video, likelihood they're hooked into whatever the plot line of the video is, and they're waiting for a reward or an end result. So when you are making content, you need to keep these things in mind and ask yourself, is this content gonna do any of those things for these people who may see this content? If not, you need to redirect what you're doing. None of that matters if you can't get people to watch. So this is the first step you need to do in order to achieve those previous things being stated, one of the previous, or if you can, do multiple. But in order to achieve those things, you need what I call SSE. First, you need them to stop, then you need them to stay, and then you need them to engage. So when I'm creating short form content, I'm in the mindset of, what story am I trying to tell? And when I put myself in that framework, then my first thought is, okay, how do I want to introduce this story? This is one of the 4 ways I do. So this is what I call the rundown. So a rundown is essentially you speeding through a few things that have happened that will lead to the end result. While you're doing that, you're stating what's happening or facts about what's happening. I'm gonna show you an example of a piece of content that I created with the rundown intro. It did like 600,000 on TikTok, 700,000 on Instagram, and almost 2 million on Facebook. So this guy took 46-inch mud tires, a 150 horsepower motorcycle engine, and slapped it on a custom frame and put this together. So feel free to steal that entire content structure. On that page, I'm essentially taking other people's long form content and breaking it down into a shorter, easy to digest story. But if you're not repurposing content and you're making content about stuff you're doing yourself, then you can still use the same framework. All you have to do is replace this guy with the me or I. So here I'm going to show you the second way that I use to hook people in. This is what I call the teaser intro. Essentially, what I do is I take the peak moment from that video or the most crucial moment of the video and put it in the beginning for the first few seconds. Mustangs have really bad rep within the car community, and this guy isn't making it any better. A gentleman who goes by the Megawatts on YouTube uploaded footage from his Tesla Cybertruck of an incident that happened to him recently on the highway. As you can see, the Mustang pulls from behind the car into the open lane, traveling faster than the majority of traffic in order to what looks like catch up with the Cybertruck, until he eventually gets in the lane to the right of it. Now clearly he's speeding up here like he's trying to overtake him, but realizing he was running out of time, instead of slowing down, he proceeds to go in the lane that the Tesla's in, effectively ramming into him. So that is what I call the teaser intro. It is super simple and super effective. What I like the best about it is that it can be used in conjunction with the previous intro style and this next one that I'm about to show you. So this intro is what I like to call the hot take intro. It's less about what you're showing and more about what's being said or written on the screen. So basically what you're doing is stating a very strong opinion that you hold that may or may not trigger the viewer in a positive or negative way. I've honestly never really been a big Mustang guy, but I'd be straight up lying if I said this new Super Snake didn't look good. It's based off of the Gen 4 5-liter Coyote engine. So essentially, when you're using that intro, the goal is likely to get someone to comment on the video, to either agree or disagree with whatever it is you're stating or whatever it is your opinion is. A lot of the times they may not comment. They may just watch it just to hear you elaborate on why you hold that opinion. Or sometimes they'll share that if it's a opinion that they feel like is absolutely ridiculous and they want to show their friend. This next one is what I like to call Hot Take 2.0. So basically what you're doing is, instead of stating your own opinion, you're stating something that may cause someone to respond to that, whether it be a fact that a lot of people don't like, or it could be other people's opinions rather than your own. Ferrari's latest vehicle is receiving very mixed feedback, while some agreeing that they hate the design and others actually love it. Despite the beef on the looks of the vehicle, we can all agree that the performance is going to be exciting, since it'll be featuring a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 that redlines at 9,500 RPM. So that Hot Take 2.0, generally I'm not using it on its own. In that video I did. Then I followed up with my own hot take. So like the original hot take. So it's 2.0. And then after that I said hot take, which is where I stated that we can all agree that it's exciting. So I kind of doubled down there. But generally what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix two of those together to create my video intro. So the next step is to get them to stay. And generally what I do is follow the story plot. So you have the intro, the problem, and the resolution. What a lot of people do wrong is that they have the intro and then they kind of go on a tangent, which leads them to the end, and it kind of either confuses them or they get bored and viewers fall off. So what you want to do is, right after that intro, you're gonna highlight a potential issue or problem that you did or whoever you're talking about did deal with, and you'll see that here in the rest of this video. Now the question is if it can drive, because he spent the last 7 months working on this thing, and in this video he took it for its first test run. Shortly after taking it out on the road, he was met with several problems. One being too heavy to turn when he's going slower, the chain literally popping off the bike. This happened 2 separate times, as well as one of the gears breaking, so he had to forge a new one that would be more durable. And what I did was broke down the key difficulties that the main character of the plot went through, and that's very crucial to making a very well-rounded and cohesive plot. Now the last part is the resolution, and with the resolution there is a lot of things you can do with that. There's a lot of things you can do with resolution, and so generally what my focal point is to avoid saying or suggesting anything to the viewer that the video is about to come to an end. Words or phrases like "thanks for watching," "what do you guys think," "this is the result," all 3 of those phrases are trigger points to the viewer that, okay, it's a resolution, that the video's over, I'm swiping away. The resolution part of this video, my goal was just to get them watch all the way to the end, so as much as retention as possible, and you'll be able to see exactly how I did this. Most surprising thing about this is its weight. It's 816 pounds. He said he has a lot more work to do with it, but in the end he got it to ride pretty smooth. So the goal of getting someone to watch to the end is really more so a long-term goal. You're just doing it for the sake of the piece of content itself, for it to have the most potential to go the furthest. Now, in another scenario where you have a product or service, then you're probably gonna wanna plug those products in the end very briefly. Case in point, like I do consulting. So if anyone wants consulting from me, then they can send out an email, and I'll leave that below, or I will leave a link to a contact form that I have on my website. So that would be a plug at the end, and that way you can convert those views into dollars. So if you want to put this into steps, then I would say watch time is probably the first thing you want to master. Now, if you want to go more in depth on the psychology of these other things and how you get them to work for you, I'll be doing that in future videos. So be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. You know how you watch something that just makes you like terribly uncomfortable, but you can't take your eyes off of it? Yeah, this is this video right here. So guy in the passenger seat is literally live streaming this happening on Instagram The alleged driver is known as Squeeze Benz on social media, and the person who screen recorded this, I believe, had the appropriate reaction to this. Squeeze have been uploading videos like this for a while, but it was this video here that really blew up, which almost has 5 million views now. His identity had been concealed for obvious reasons, but he was recently arrested and his mugshot posted online. Ironically, he wasn't arrested for any of the videos of him doing this stuff on the road. He was charged with assault for an incident that happened back in February in a deli that was based out in Queens. According to NBC New York, he's out now on bail. He was likely able to do this with the money he's making from his videos along with his merch. As you can see from that previous clip, he put quite a bit of effort into his website and into marketing his merch. He has a loyal fan base, so I'm sure he doesn't struggle to sell quite a bit of these t-shirts. If you're a brand or service that would like to collaborate with me, you can contact me via DM or email.